I believe that the guitar world opened its doors way more back in the day, thanks to the music of AC/DC, one of the greatest rock bands of all time, at least in my opinion. It is ultimately impossible not to come across their music when you're learning guitar. Their music is basically the best example of perfectly combining simplicity and complexity into one great rock and rollin' piece. AC/DC's music is comprised of Malcolm Young's great rhythm tracks that many, I myself included, consider as the best rock and roll riffs ever. They are simple, yet they are just legendarily great. It is pure and perfect rock and roll, and I will say no more and no less. For me, the best tracks that showcase Malcolm's amazing rhythm guitar compositions include Back in Black, Hell's Bells, If You Want Blood, You've Got It, Flick of the Switch, and Night Prowler. I'm sure there are other AC/DC tracks that are just as amazing or even more amazing in terms of showing Malcolm's skills, but since I cannot mention them all in this one video, I leave it to you guys to search them up or even mention them in the comments if you already know any. Considering the rhythm section is already something, get ready for my discussion on Angus Young's guitar playing, which I would say is just pure rock and roll sweetness. Angus Young's lead guitar sections on AC/DC songs would be something I would consider as rock and roll heaven, because it really just shows mastery pertaining to the formula of composing the best rock and roll music. It's like Angus has already figured out every method in the guitar when it comes to what is needed in making perfect rock and roll. I bet Angus has mastered the rock and roll scales 10 million times already, making him one of the guitar gods. Angus Young is one of those people who I would say just belongs with a guitar, as if Angus is inseparable with a guitar. With his greatness in the rock and roll field of the instrument, I cannot see him not holding a guitar. I just can't. For me, some of Angus Young's greatest guitar work in AC/DC can be found in the following tracks: Thunderstruck, Let There Be Rock, Jailbreak, You Shook Me All Night Long, and Highway to Hell. Like I said a while ago, if you feel that there is another track worth mentioning, feel free to put it down in the comments below. With this legendary contribution of Angus Young and Malcolm Young pertaining to guitar, it seems that it has created a great effect of more and more people just picking up guitar and learning how to play. I believe that with their music of rock and roll perfection, they have made the universe strongly bow down to rock and roll, especially in those days wherein they really were the big cheese. I'm not saying that they were the ones that started rock and roll, because that title belongs to artists like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, and all those other legends. However, AC/DC is the one that took rock and roll into its greatest or highest level, especially in the context of guitar, and no one can top them. These guys are just true masters of their craft, and they will never be removed from my list of best bands ever, because they are simply the greatest rock and roll band ever. I hope that until the far future, AC/DC continues to thunderstrike us with their legendary rock and roll perfection. We sadly lost Malcolm Young a few years back, but I hope that Angus still has a long, long way to go. Alright guys, that is gonna be it for today's video on AC/DC. I'm glad I got to talk about this already, because all these thoughts pertaining to how much I love them have just been bottling up in my mind, waiting to be on paper. I've had these thoughts for years now, probably since early high school, and my love for them has really never changed. There are bands that I used to love when I was younger which I do not really like anymore, like Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, and Foo Fighters. But my love for AC/DC has always been there, and I really believe that it's gonna stay the same even when I turn as old as 60 or something. I guess AC/DC is my forever. Okay, I'm gonna go and end the video now because I still have other things to do. After this, I still have to battle a dragon outside my castle with King Arthur and Sir Lancelot, so I'll just see you in the next video. I hope you're having a good day and I hope that it gets better if you aren't. This is the Stonich saying, goodbye, Yellow Brick Road.